This first story here is super crazy and insane, everyone. It begins in mid-Manhattan on a train, where you can see chaos going on. Two people was stabbed on a crowded subway train as it was pulling into Grand Central Station Terminal. We have the terrifying video caught on camera.
The search is on for a suspect after two people are stabbed. This was during rush hour at Grand Central Terminal this morning. Fox 5 obtained an exclusive video of this attack.
This is super crazy and insane, my good folks, on a public train? Oh my God. Welcome back to Crazy and Insane TV News, everyone. And in this video, it doesn't get any crazier than this. Make sure y'all brace yourself. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you get your chips, your popcorn, your drinks, everything that you need to get comfy so you can put your legs up and check out these bangers.
The video shows it happened actually inside the subway car itself right now. You pointed out police are still looking for the individual who stabbed two subway riders this morning on a crowded 456 Lexington line train. This was, as you also pointed out, in the middle of rush hour. Now, there are some reports out there that the individual in this case has been caught. Our information says otherwise, that he is still being sought. In the meantime, you are looking at cell phone video obtained by Fox 5, which was filmed inside the car as this was happening, and it shows at least two men were involved in the incident. One of them, who was standing on the floor, was stabbing a second man who appears to leap on the bench seats of the train as that assailant appears to jab him multiple times around the midsection of his body. Now, all the while, strap hangers in the video are seen pushing towards the ends of the car, trying to get out of the way of this violence. And once the subway car doors open, they flood out onto the platform of Grand Central Station. Now, this was the 911 call for this came in at 7:20 a.m. This was on the southbound number 5 train that pulled into the station. Police sources are telling us they believe this began as a verbal dispute before escalating into violence. Now, at this point, let's show you the other video. A 28-year-old male has been stabbed in the abdomen. A 32-year-old male has been stabbed in the abdomen and buttocks. We believe that this individual that's seen on the stretcher was the one that you saw in the video jumping up on the bench seats of that subway car. Both are at a local hospital. We're not going to say which, just to be safe. Again, 3 people were involved in this incident.
This was crazy, my good folks, on a public train. Where is a whole bunch of other people there witnessing this. My man pulls out a knife after a argument, I assume. Bruh, what's wrong with your 2 fists? Why you have to pull out a knife? If the other individual doesn't have a weapon, ain't no need for you to pull out a weapon and try to poke my man. Now you gonna face attempted murder, and we don't know what else charges you might face. This is insane, bro. You caused this chaos on yourself. If it was a fair fight, probably nothing would have come out of this. No police arrest or nothing, right? Nobody wouldn't end up in the hospital unless that fight was real serious. But this is crazy. This is insane. You know what? Let's move on to the next story, my good folks.
This second story is even worse than the first story. This involves stabbing again, but on a couple police officers. This is crazy, my good people. Just plain insane.
This is crazy and insane, my good folks. In the courthouse, in a courthouse in Manhattan, police was attacked by an individual with a knife, stabbing them. Yo, where they find these people at, yo? These people do not care at all. This is serious. If you could march inside of a court building, a courtroom where the judges and police at, and went in there and stabbed a police officer, a couple of them, this is insane. Let's find out exactly what happens here.
So that targeted attack was caught on camera, but the question at the center of this investigation was how it wasn't prevented. That's at the middle right now, and we can't hear what was said, but we do see within a matter of seconds the guys stormed through the metal detectors, appears to stab one of those officers on the other side, goes back out and stabs another before he's tackled by other officers inside. One of the men, we're told, was also injured. Now, meanwhile, the Office of Court Administration says this happened within just a couple of days following the launch of their advocacy campaign addressing severe safety concerns. Now, in their statement to Fox 5, they shared, quote, the OCA was in Brooklyn draining more personnel resources, while in Manhattan Criminal Court, 2 court officers were stabbed, with 1 officer sustaining serious wounds to his face and neck. What will it take, they questioned, for court leaders to take the appropriate actions to secure these facilities? Now, for context, this court building alone gets a lot of high-profile cases, including President Trump's criminal trial. And just one day before this stabbing, union members reported staffing plummeting to bleak levels to the New York Post. Now, 35% of posts they reported are unfilled, and within the last decade, applications have dropped from 110,000 to just 28,000, representing a more than 70% decline.
Today is a prime example for them to now put into place some of the solutions we've offered, some of their own solutions, and make sure that these facilities are operating safely. If we don't feel safe in the courthouse, how is the public supposed to feel safe?
Now, a spokesperson from the New York State Unified Court System says they've graduated about 620 graduates, officers, to address this staffing. They sent us a statement in part saying, quote, uniformed supervisors are constantly reviewing staffing levels in all of our courthouses, and where appropriate and permissible under civil service laws and rules, adjusting staffing levels. So that was their response to it.
Yo, it's too much crazy, deranged lunatics out there, bruh. How this dude get the courage, the boldness to rush inside of a courthouse and start attacking officers, start stabbing them, and he don't even care about the repercussion, the consequence of his action. He don't care what y'all do to him. This guy is crazy and deranged. He should not be on the streets. And this is what we've been talking about. People keep doing these type of crimes, and the court system keep releasing them back in the streets to continue to do stuff like this. These people should not be on the streets. They need to be in some type of a mental institution. This is insane, my good people. But you know what? Let's move on to the next story.
This next story is also terrifying. This man decided to burn a few NYC police cars. Insane.
It's getting a real crazy in NYC right now, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that I'm showing you is in New York. Dude, where they find these folks? This dude blazing police vehicle like it ain't nothing. Taxpayers' hard-working money. This is what he's doing. Catching police vehicle on fire. This is crazy and insane, yo. I hope this dude get caught and get put away. Let's find out exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy.
Back to that suspect for about 40 minutes prior to the first incident that happened last week, following him on foot, watching him get onto the subway and traveling between Brooklyn and Manhattan. They also say he is connected to a recent protest at Columbia University where a statue was vandalized with red paint. That happened in September. But take a look at your screens right now, because this is the man police are looking for. His name is 21-year-old Jackie McCrae. According to the NYPD, he torched 11 department vehicles back on June 12th, parked at a lot on DeKalb Avenue here in Bushwick. Authorities allege that McCrae placed fire starters on the windshields, hoods, and tires on detonated explosives were also found on the scene. The vehicle sustained $500,000 in damage, and it'll cost the city more than $800,000 more to replace them. McCrae was tracked on surveillance video and allegedly changed his clothes several times. Police believe right now that he acted alone. In one case, he was seen entering a bodega with a gray hoodie, face mask, and dark-colored pants and shoes. Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny says he's no stranger to the NYPD either.
He has 2 prior arrests in New York City, both of them being protest-related for resisting arrest. One in the 1st precinct in Manhattan, one in the 114 precinct in Queens, and he's also wanted for a criminal mischief incident in Columbia University back in September, where he disguised himself as a student and caused over $1,000 of damage to a statue on the campus.
Yesterday morning, another NYPD van was found burnt on Union Avenue in Williamsburg, not too far from here. The vehicle was assigned to a transit district, and police believe it was ignited in a similar manner. But officials say it is too soon to tell whether both of those fires are connected.
This dude is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. You hear how much money it's gonna cost the city to replace them? Almost $1,800,000. That's insane, yo. Insane. Yo, he need to face the consequence of all of this. I don't know what they could do, but he needs to face the consequence of all this. People need to learn, yo. This is crazy and insane. But let's move on to the next story.
Robbery is way too dramatic for most people to watch. Brace yourself as grocery store worker got robbed and shot. He barely survived.
This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. These folks need to go find a damn job instead of walking up inside of a grocery store and try to stick up the clerk. This is insane. What you think you gonna get? Huh? A couple of dollars? A couple of chips? A couple of rollies? Yo, this guy is insane. You definitely need to get caught and put away. You putting the people's life at risk by pointing a gun at them? Insane, my good folks. Let's continue to watch.
Before showing you any more of this video, we want you to know that the clerk is alive tonight.
Amazingly, everything seems routine in this until the clerk glances down at the register. Look at the video. You see the suspect in the tan hoodie and sunglasses pull out his gun. He fires 3 quick shots and then bolts out the door.
Here's a closer look right here. It's the moment when the clerk threw his arm up that reflects what doctors say is what saved his life.
This happened at Jacob's Food Mart in Gastonia. Channel 9's Gaston County reporter Ken Lemon talked to that clerk today about his recovery. Ken?
Yeah, and that one shot broke 2 bones in Scotty Floyd's arm. He says he's worked here for 15 years and he lives by a motto, treat customers right, they'll treat you right. He says he did that, but something wasn't right about this one customer, and he says that hint of suspicion may have saved his life. The career clerk looked like a superhero blocking a speeding bullet. The gun was almost in his face.
I thank God. It was God.
Scotty Floyd actually opened the door for the man who nearly took his life at the Jacob Food Mart on Marietta Street Friday. He didn't know the man had a gun, but he noticed he kept his sunglasses on and a hoodie pulled over his head.
I knew the guy was up to something, and that probably saved my life too.
Floyd says the man didn't demand money or make a threat. He asked for CBD cigarette products.
When I seen the silver of the gun, I knew what he was doing.
That shot lodged in his forearm, breaking 2 bones, but it didn't go any farther.
Oh, he just shot me dead between the eyes.
Floyd ducked down behind the counter.
He tried to shoot again, but the gun didn't shoot.
He feared the man was going to come behind the counter and keep shooting. Instead, the suspect ran. Police say he went to Forest City, about 40 miles west. They say he shot and nearly killed another man at an event downtown that same day. Christian Campbell is charged with assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, and he's waiting on new charges in Gastonia.
Prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law, because he didn't have no because for my life. He tried to take my life.
Facts, fam. They need to prosecute him to the fullest of the law. He almost took your life. What if that bullet had hit you in the head? You probably wouldn't even be here right now. You feel me? This is crazy and insane. So, I agree with you, man. And I hope that's what the law enforcement, the court system, whoever is about to prosecute this case, make sure you prosecute this dude to the fullest of the law, because he ain't had to press the trigger. You feel me? This crazy. Make sure y'all be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love, and we are out of here.
Another amazing video. Thanks for watching, everyone. And remember to like, share, comment. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, we out.